Most people treat birthdays as a simple tick mark on a calendar. It's just another year gone, another candle on the cake. But every once in a while, you come across a birthday that feels less like a routine celebration and more like a moment to study a specific kind of human impact.
I know exactly what you mean. It's that rare occasion where the person being celebrated actually represents a distinct archetype of influence. And today we are zooming in on exactly that kind of profile. We're talking about Jason.
Right, Jason. Now, on the surface, the brief is simple. It's his birthday, he's a brother in Christ, he loves music, evangelizing, and praying for the needy. But when you actually unpack those three specific traits together, you get a very interesting chemical reaction.
It is a fascinating combination. Let's break it down. Usually we see people who are great at one of these things. You have the evangelist, the bold speaker, the one on the front lines. Then you have the musician, the creative, the sensitive soul. And then the intercessor, the one in the background praying. It is rare to find them synthesized in one man.
That's a great point. Usually, the bold evangelist personality clashes with the sensitive artist personality. But with Jason, it seems like the music actually fuels the mission.
Precisely. Think about the mechanics of evangelism for a second. It's communication, right? It's the transmission of a message, the gospel. But raw information can be hard for people to swallow. That's where the music comes in. Music is the lubricant. It bypasses the intellectual defenses and goes straight to the emotional center.
So you're saying his love for music isn't just a hobby, it's a strategic tool?
Oh, absolutely. Whether he realizes it or not, it's tactical. When you combine the good news with melody, you aren't just telling someone a truth, you're making them feel it. It turns a lecture into an experience. That is the difference between a street preacher shouting at a crowd and a true minister drawing people in.
I love that distinction. And then you have this third element, praying for those in need. This feels like the anchor. Because you can have a great speaker and a great musician, but without that empathy, without that spiritual burden for the needy, it's just a performance.
That is the critical variable. Empathy. The fact that he actively prays for those in need tells us about his internal world. It means he isn't just looking at people as targets for evangelism or audiences for his music. He sees their brokenness. He feels the weight of their struggle.
It grounds him.
It grounds him completely. Prayer is the engine room. It's the unseen work that gives power to the public work. You can't sustain a life of pouring out through preaching or music unless you are being filled up in private through prayer. That is why this particular birthday is worth analyzing. We aren't just celebrating a guy getting older. We are looking at a sustainable ecosystem of faith.
That's a beautiful way to put it. An ecosystem. You have the output, the evangelism, the method, the music, and the input, the prayer. It makes me wonder, though, in today's world, which is so noisy and so cynical, how difficult is it to maintain that balance?
It's incredibly difficult. The world wants you to compartmentalize. It says, keep your faith private, or make your music commercial, or delegate the charity work to an organization. To integrate all three into a daily lifestyle? That takes a kind of courage that is becoming scarce. It requires being a brother in Christ, not just as a label, but as an identity.
It's countercultural.
It is the definition of countercultural, and that brings us back to the celebration today. When we say happy birthday to someone like Jason, we are essentially validating that resistance. We are cheering for the fact that he hasn't dropped the ball on any of these fronts.
It's inspiring, honestly. It challenges me to look at my own life. Am I balancing my skills with my compassion? Am I speaking up or just staying silent?
That is the question, isn't it? Jason's life poses a question to everyone around him. If music is the language of the soul, and the gospel is the cure for the soul, and prayer is the connection to the creator of the soul, then living at the intersection of those three things is probably the most alive you can possibly be.
So as he blows out the candles today, it's not just about the year behind him. It's about the momentum he's carrying forward.
Exactly. And my hope for him, and really for anyone listening who resonates with this, is that the music gets louder, the prayers get deeper, and the message gets clearer. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more melody and more mercy. And it sounds like Jason has plenty of both.
Well said. A very happy birthday to Jason indeed. A true triple threat in the kingdom. It leaves us with a lot to think about regarding how we use our own talents to touch the lives of others.
It certainly does. The best melodies are the ones lived out, not just played.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for diving into this with me.
Anytime.